What's up, YouTube family and my less lethal family? Um, Wanted to make a video about the Byrna Cl, and honestly, I'm talking to a lot of the newbies, people who really have no clue about any of this stuff. You're looking to get your first launcher. I remember being there, watching all the reviews, all the videos, looking things up, and still being totally confused. Um, I'm still learning as I go too, so this is for you guys, man. Byrna is a big name. Let's start with that. They are, one of the big names of less lethal. Let's just face it, it is what it is. Couple cool things with them. Case right from the start. You're gonna get a nice case, no matter which pistol, whichever launcher you decide to go with. You get a nice, hard, solid case. They used to come, which I have, the fabric cases, but now you get a hard case. You can even buy them secondary. A lot of times, with the launchers, you're gonna get just a box, right? Not always the most pretty thing in the world, but heads up, that's the one good thing. Second, inside of the case, you get a bunch of goodies, right? You're gonna have your CL. I added the red dot, but you'll have your CL. You're gonna have two 5-round mags, not just one mag. Again, a lot of these launches are only gonna come with one magazine, which a little bit of a letdown, but again, it is what it is. You'll get two 8-gram CO2 cartridges, and you're gonna get 3 tubes of kinetic. Yeah, I think they give you 2 tubes of kinetic, and one inert rounds that basically just powder, so you can practice with seeing how chemical rounds actually work. So it lets out like a powder, not a chemical round. So again, nice box. All the goodies will come inside of it. It does have the ability to add stuff. Like I said, I did add my red dot to this. Inside the box too, bunch of stuff. You'll have, your instruction manual and things like that. Byrna Made in America. All your stuff. See where it's assembled, when it's assembled, when it's inspected. On top of that, you get a card, which I love. I love these cards. I do actually carry one out of habit because I was just living in New York. New York's a tough state to carry these things, and essentially the city has different laws in the states, and definitely look up your laws. But the cool thing with these launches all around are they're legal in all 50 states. Byrna says it all the time. Right on the card, you'll see it. Less lethal protection, no permit required, no federal license required, no background checks, CO2 powered, patent pull pierce technology. I'll go into that. That is the way Byrna operates. Pull the trigger and it will immediately fire. The CL has no safety, so as soon as you pull the trigger, it's going to let out the round. It's going to pierce the CO2, round's going to come out. On things like, say, the LE has a safety, so you can pull it on safe, pierce the CO2, turn it on to fire, shoot your first shot. Then the first shot will come out a lot harder because the CO2 is already punctured. Um, with this one, you could do a little bit of a trick. You can pull it back just enough to pierce the CO2, bring it back, and then fire to make that first shot as, you know, give it the most power as possible, right? But in a real, issue, you're not going to sit there and draw and try to, pull it back just a little bit. You're going to let off the first shot. So when you pull the trigger, it's going to pierce the CO2. First shot's immediately going to come out. That's the big difference with Byrna versus, say, other ones where you're going to strike the bottom and have to fire. CL is incredibly tiny. I mean, look at the size of this thing. I can hide it behind my hand. That is the one plus this thing really had going for it, is that it is unbelievably tiny. They did change the rounds. Again, a lot of these launchers you look at, you'll see 50 cal. Most you're going to see is 68. I love all my 68s. Byrna changed it. They went to a 61. Honestly, I think it was to get the width down more than anything. I mean, when you get to the 68s, it's a wider round. those balls are big, so wanted to make it as tiny as possible. I think they went down, trying to, I guess, shrink the launcher itself. Um, Not the biggest fan of the 61s, I'm not gonna lie to you. Concealability, amazing. 8 gram too. 8 grams is a little bit of a nightmare. You kind of gotta order it. You're not gonna go to many places and find 8 gram CO2 cartridges lying around. 12 gram easy, 8 a little tough. So yeah, that's kind of the downside. But just like firearms, you have your mag drop right there. You'll know there's a round in the chamber because see that little button right up top. You push that down, oop, see it'll drop right out. Actually, let me change that out for a test. So you could also, with the rounds, you could rock your kinetic rounds, which is your basically just your hard rounds, and then you have things like max projectiles, which is potent for a chemical round. It really is. It's like what does it say here? OC and tear gas blend. I mean, this thing hurts. Blue and black, blue and gray boy will do some damage. Right now, I have the red and blacks inside the CL, the blues on my 68 caliber ones. So you have chemical rounds, you have kinetic rounds. Depending on where you live, depending on what you could carry, that I would say look up your state laws, things like that, to see what you can and can't have. New York State's weird. I was able to get max rounds from a gun store. Then they said no more. I can only get pepper, but hey, nightmare. I know California's the same way. I'm in Florida now, so I'm very, very grateful. Good thing going with the CL. They made it so you could take off the sight, add a red dot with no problem. Like I said, now they made the booster where you could, again, it's like a little add-on right here. That'll give you the ability to add a 12 gram CO2 cartridge. I probably left that part out. Just starting out, guys. Bear with me. You can start finding cool things in less lethal though. Like I found this magazine holder. It's pretty cool. It holds all the mags and it actually holds CO2 at the same time. So I could literally put CO2 right in there. They made magazine, which you'll notice a little bit different. And I could actually carry CO2 and a magazine together safely. And I'll keep this in my bag. My kids jump around, they hit my bag all the time. I've never had any problems with chemical rounds breaking, or even this breaking. Or even Byrna makes sleeves themselves too for their magazines. But again, like I said, with this less lethal world, man, there's a lot of cool stuff. So I made this, holder. And as you see here, I have a mag extension right here on it. Most of the time with, here, let me show you something. Boom. Click in, right? To get this CO2 in and out, they do have fast caps. You could twist on, twist off. On your magazine, you'll notice there's like a little rivet right there. See it? Little Allen key. Go right in here. Twist on, twist off. Same deal. I'll take it off just for video's sake. And your CO2 goes right in. So you got your CO2. Put it right in the front. Cap goes right on. Give it a little twist. The cool thing again is, like I said, when you get guys who make mag extensions, this one was great because they actually got the Allen key part on there, so I could actually tighten this up even with the mag extension. A lot of them you won't see that. That was an awesome feature. Thank you, East Coast Less Lethal, for that one. This was a window for sure. So, like I said, concealability, awesome. Can't go wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's not the most powerful. I would never carry kinetics in this. I would only carry chemical rounds. I don't believe that it'll always have the power to stop certain threats. I don't. Um, my wife loves it. It's definitely comfortable for her to carry. My hand's a little big. You'll see here. Come out the shot a little bit. You know, they do make a mag extension. I do like it because it makes it bigger. Right? So I don't mind carrying it like that, and it's still crazy small. I mean, and it's unbelievably light. If I was going to weigh this, this is with full CO2, with the red dot sight, with a full magazine. Let's go to ounces. 14.79 ounces on my scale. I mean, it's less than 15 ounces. That's fully loaded. That's CO2. Um, I don't see how you could really go wrong here. But actually, I think I did plus one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, yeah, I got one in, so it's 5 plus 1, actually. So that's with 6 rounds. Um, now, they do make other rounds, too. You could absolutely search around. For the Byrna, honestly, I haven't done anything special. I kind of just stuck with the, I won't say that. With the CL, I've only stuck with the CL rounds. You'll always see this thing says what 2.1 grams. Like I said, fully loaded, red dot. It's still concealable, even if you added the extended magazine. Uh, red dot. It's definitely comfortable. You know, it is small though, especially if you have big hands, like I said. But pretty cool launcher. I'll show you the power. Let's go with that. Before I start shooting, guys, I do want to go over a couple things. One, this is not a firearm. It is basically like a people on YouTube, so please don't uh, get worried. Totally safe, less lethal, shooting projectiles right in the garage. We got goggles, we got ear protection, always be safe. Big thing you're going to know about this launcher, and a lot of us didn't see this right away, is this is advertised a lot differently than how we actually rate the power of less lethal launchers. MX radar, so again, just test the um, feet per second, and then we can transfer that over to joules. Shows us our power, right? Byrna advertised it as 40 joules per square inch. That is not the same mathematical equation as we use for, say, the Pastel, even the Byrna LE when they advertised it, or the new Gen 2 that just came out from Mercury Rise. It was a new style of trying to explain how their 61 caliber rounds hit just as hard supposedly as a 68 moving X Fast. It's kind of weird too because on the box, which kind of got me a little upset, they advertise all over 400 feet per second, right? But right here on the box, 320 feet per second. That's 60-foot effective range, 15 shot per 8 grams CO2, 320 feet per second. But then you go on the website, they're advertising it at 400 feet per second. Not going to lie, I have gotten 4 and I've gotten over 4 before. So we're going to see what it can do. But again, this launcher is not 40 joules. Do not believe that, listen to that, or anything like that. Again, still a nice launcher, very concealable, great for chemical rounds. I'm not going to shoot chemical in my garage. I'll show you what it could do kinetic wise. Let's see. You guys can see me, right? Yeah, that's that. And you're going to notice right here, I'm just going to shoot. So pull the pierce, like I said, as soon as I pull the trigger, first round will come out, but it's going to be weak. All right, so first shot. 184. Not good. See? 418. 390. 368. Got a bounce back. That's why you wear protection. 348. 324. I'm out. Like I said, though, I am getting over 400. You just saw that yourself. First shot is very, very light. Second shot, very hard. So I will give it that second shot really comes out. I know some people have had a lot of issues, not even getting up to like 360 and things like that. And they were very, very upset. Like I said, it's kind of cold right now too. So it's pretty amazing that even now I still put out over 400, something, and you just see the drop. Again, it's a fun launcher. You could absolutely, do a lot of cool things. Change the bottom of the mag, change the color so you know what kind of rounds you have. Almost just for fun. I'm gonna use the extended mag, right? It says 15 rounds on 1 8-gram. Right? Why don't we do that, guys? Let's let out a couple more shots. Let's see what we can do here. Ready? The extended mag. Let's see what I got. 348, 316, 294, 272, 254, 240, 226. I think that's all the rounds I got in there for now, guys. Yep, that's all I got. Accurate, though, I will say, very accurate. Wherever I am aiming, I don't even have the red dot on. Obviously, this is close talking about 20 feet. I'm extending my arm a little bit. And that bounce, that's a little less, let's say 17 feet away. But still, again, I know sometimes a lot of these launchers can shoot a little left and right, a little high, a little low, right? I will say that this launcher does shoot very, very accurately. And it's fun. It's fun to play with. It's fun to shoot in the garage, train a little bit. Even for my kids, I want them to be comfortable with all kinds of firearms and things like that. So it's a good way to even, say teach your kids and, people to be comfortable with, firearms later on. All in all, power-wise, not the most powerful thing in the world. If you're going to carry this, I definitely suggest, again, chemical rounds, practice, 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 safety, and again, efficiency, right? Make sure you have a good aim, a couple of max rounds, say, to the face, throat area, things like that. It's going to do some damage. I don't care what anybody says about that. Anybody wants to challenge it, please post that video and let us all see you take a couple max rounds to the face from a CL. Pretty sure it's gonna do some work. But again, you got to be accurate. If you're not, you got a problem. And again, you're aiming for a small space versus, say, bigger size launchers that have some serious stopping power. No matter where you hit, they're gonna put you down. And again, that would be, say, a kinetic. So again, I would say for especially someone starting out, if you could carry chemical, great launcher to have. I like loading the first one as a kinetic, just as a warning. Back up, tag you real quick, and then after that, let it loose from there. As you see, it does have the ability to cycle more than just one mag, though. You can go, good 15 shots before you're out of CO2. I still definitely have more in here, like I said. So there's still more. Actually, if you want to dump it, you can do it 2 ways. Let's get to that. You can trigger it out. Still being a kid, man. Can't never not have fun with it. Or you just twist. You hear the CO2. You even hear everything click in there too, by the way. You hear the bolt move and everything. She's ready to come out. Right in the garbage. That simple. And then yeah, just grab another CO2. Do it all over again. Besides, launcher itself, maintenance. Maintenance is always important with all of these. They have O-rings. They do have working parts. Obviously, it's not a firearm, but you still want to take care of your stuff. Other launchers, I use different things. With the Byrna, they actually came out with their own oiling kit, things like that. I got it when I got my first Byrna. Then I just fill up that tube and I keep using it. So I'll always clean it. I'll oil my I'll oil her up and make sure everything's running clean. You want to always make sure everything's functional at all times. But again, the cool part is I could leave this right, in my bag next to me. I could carry it on me, loaded, fully ready to go. CO2 not pierced, and it's just there ready. So the pull and pierce is honestly awesome. It's a cool piece of technology. Don't let that be your only selling point, though. Honestly, look to see what your state laws are. Look to see what your county laws are, and every other thing like that. Because again, every place is definitely different. It's kind of weird, but unfortunately, it's true. Everything is different. Oh yeah, with the CO2 on this, by the way, you're supposed to push it in. Other ones you just drop in. This you're supposed to push. I forgot to tell you that. Like I said, a little raw kind of style video, but again, this is for my my new folks out there, man, shopping, trying to get into this this culture, this way of life. I will say you'll find it a lot of fun. You'll meet a lot of good people. I have along the way. You probably watch a bunch of their videos. I'm not going to name drop right now. You probably see some of the stickers on the catch barrel on my shop, things like that. But yeah, so it could be a fun hobby, but it could also be something to save your life. And again, it's fully legal. You could carry it. You could, bring it with you pretty much anywhere. Again, just be careful with certain states, certain places. But other than that, you're pretty much good to go. All in all, like I said, fun launcher, concealability, 10 out of 10. It's like carrying your cell phone. You can't beat this thing when it comes to concealability. Power, I got lucky. I'm putting over 400 on that shot. You saw it yourself. That's cool. I'm happy about that. But I don't carry this every day. This would be a specialty thing. Or again, this is something my wife has, in her bag next to me 90% of the time. So I always have something heavier, and she has, this with some kind of chemical around in it. Yeah, I hope this was informational. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah. Like I said, just learning, guys, too, how to do this YouTube thing. I'd appreciate the love. Hit like, hit subscribe. I really would like to, grow this channel a lot bigger, obviously, and get more comfortable doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, let's do it together. Let's learn together. Let's have some fun together. Stay safe out there. See you soon.